Hello, today we're going to look at lesson 2.2, solving equations using the distributive property and combining like terms. If we take a look at number 1, we have 16 equals negative m minus 5m plus 2m. I've divided the equation into two parts. We have the left side of the equation, which is 16, and the right side, which is negative m minus 5m plus 2m. If we look at the right side of the equation, notice each term has an m. So these will be my like terms. It's kind of like apples and bananas. We know what apples are because we could gather those apples together. And then we know what the bananas are, and we could group those together as well. So with combining like terms, we're trying to combine what looks alike. So if we take a look at the right side, whenever you have a negative m, remember that that was originally a negative 1. We just don't write it. Then we have minus 5m plus 2m. All right? So if we combine these three terms, negative 1m minus 5m plus 2m, we get negative 4m. And we just bring down our left side, which is 16. Okay? So now that we've combined all like terms, now we can solve for m. To get m by itself, we divide both sides by negative 4. Whatever you do to the right side of the equal sign, you must do it to the left side of the equal sign. Negative 4 divided by negative 4 is 1m. Remember, we don't have to write the 1. And 16 divided by negative 4 is negative 4. So m is equal to negative 4. Now let's take a look at one where we have a distributive property. So let's take a look at number 4. The distributive property just means that we have something on the outside that's trying to get in. So notice in number 4 we have 2 times negative 5 minus 7x equals negative 108. Since 2 is on the outside of the parentheses, we want to distribute it to everything on the inside because math is fair. So we're going to divide the left and the right side, and we're going to distribute. When you distribute, remember that you are multiplying. And so 2 times negative 5 will be negative 10. We also have to distribute 2 to that minus 7x. Everyone gets it. 2 times negative 7x would be negative 14x equals negative 108. Now, if we look at our new equation, we have negative 10 minus 14x equals negative 108. I do have like terms in the equation. We have a constant, a variable, and a constant. So I have 2 constants, but one is on the left side of the equation, and the other constant is on the right side of the equation. So since we're combining like terms, we need to move this minus 10 to the other side of the equation. And to move anything in math, we just do the opposite. So the opposite of a negative 10 would be plus 10. Whatever we do to the left side of the equation, we also have to do it to the right side. All right, negative 10 plus 10 cancels out, leaving us with negative 14x equals negative 98. Now, we have to get this x alone. And notice we have a negative 14 with it. So what we are going to do is divide both sides by negative 14. Remember, whatever you do to one side of the equation, make sure you do it to the other side. And we get x equals 7. All right. Now, let's take a look at number 3. In number 3, we have x plus 4 minus 4x equals negative 20 plus 3. Let's divide both sides of the equation, where we have a left side and we have a right side. Now, let's only look at the left side of the equation. We have x, 4, and minus 4x. Remember, with combining like terms, we want to combine and group what looks alike. So here I have a variable, we have a constant, and we have a variable. So since I said variable twice, we're going to look to see if those variables match. And they do. So we have x minus 4x, and we have minus 3x. Since this is the only constant on the left side of the equation, we're going to bring it down. Now we have negative 20 plus 3. Well, negative 20 plus 3, we can combine those. Those are both constants. And we get negative 17. Now, we have a variable, constant, on the left side, and a constant on the right side. So now we have two constants, but one is on the left side of the equation, and the other is on the right side, but we need to combine them. So in order to combine them, we move one to the other side of the equation, which is a plus 4, and remember, the opposite of a plus is a minus 4. Whatever you do to one side of the equation, make sure you do it to the other side because math is fair. Plus 4 minus 4 cancels out, and we're left with negative 3x equals negative 21. Now, to get x alone, we have a negative 3 with it. So we have to divide negative 3. And whatever you do to one side, make sure you do it to the other side of the equation. And we get x equals 7. All right. Now, let's take a look at number 5. In number 5, we have 1/3 times 3 minus 9r minus 3 equals 289. We have to distribute this 1/3 inside of the parentheses. So 1/3 times 3 would be 1. And 1/3 times minus 9r would be minus 3r. So I took my 1/3 and gave it to every one inside of the parentheses. Now I bring down my minus 3 equals 289. So if we look at the left side of the equation, notice we have 1 minus 3r equals minus 3. And we have constant, variable, constant. So if we look at the left side, we have two constants, and we want to combine those. And 1 minus 3 is minus 2. Bring your variable down, minus 3r equals 289. Okay. So now we have minus 2 minus 3r equals 289. We have a constant, a variable, and a constant. Ooh, two constants again. We have to combine them, but they're on two opposite sides. So let's move this minus 2 to the right side. And to move the minus 2, we simply add 2 to both sides. And we have minus 3r equals 291. All right, and to get r by itself, we have to get rid of that negative 3. And the way we move the negative 3 is by dividing negative 3 on both sides. And r is going to be equal to negative 97. All right, so I'm going to go back and box in all my answers that I have done. Okay, so remember, we're looking at the distributive property and combining like terms. Whenever we use the distributive property, it's something on the outside that's trying to get in. So make sure that you give it to everything on the inside of the parentheses. Whenever you're combining like terms, make sure you group together what looks alike. This is the lesson on solving equations using the distributive property and combining like terms. You all have a great day.